Hi friends, today I want to talk to you about the book series that are a priority for me this year. So as you know, last year I made it a very big priority for me to finish series. I talked about it in each of my wrap-ups, how many series I had finished that I had already started previously. And this year I thought it'd be fun to make a video at the beginning of the year, well, towards the beginning of the year, and see how many of these series I actually do get to. So far, mid-ish March, I have started 4 series, finished 4 series, DNF'd 1, but ongoing, I still have 18 series. So let's talk about the series that I'm still continuing and priority series. So right now, ongoing series, I have The Lord of the Rings. My husband and I are reading this together. I read The Hobbit years ago, but my husband and I have decided to read the Lord of the Rings trilogy together. So we've finished The Fellowship of the Ring. I don't know when we're going to get to the Two Towers. It's not really a priority for me though. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I read that back in 2019. I really enjoyed the series. I do want to continue it. I don't know if I'll finish the whole thing, but I enjoyed the story enough to read the next book. Outlander I read in 2021. So I've read Outlander and The Dragonfly in Amber. These books are so intimidating. They are chunky. They're huge. And I think that's why I've put it off. I don't physically own these books either, so that makes it a little bit more difficult to actually pick up, but I can always use the library. Also in 2021, I read The Red Queen. Really enjoyed it. Really want to continue the series. I actually picked up the physical book of The Red Queen last year, so I want to reread The Red Queen and then finish the series out. In 2022, I read An Ember in the Ashes. Didn't make any more progress in that series. Read the Atlas 6. Let me tell you, I think for the Atlas 6, I need to go back and reread it because I was listening to the audiobook from my library, but I had a Kindle version, but it was a first edition and it didn't have all the edits that she did. So I was super distracted with why my text didn't match up to the audiobook I was listening to. So I was really confused. So I think that I just need to either do one or the other, but I need to go back and reread it. Also in 2022, I read The Thursday Murder Club. I thought this was an okay book for me. It's not urgent that I get to the rest of these books, but I did enjoy it. I think that there is going to be some interesting developments in the series, and I really do want to read it, but I had a hard time picturing what was going on. I don't know why. Maybe because we mostly listen to this in the car, and I think I fall asleep at a couple spots because my husband can't listen to audiobooks as fast as I can. So when we listen on 1 speed or 1.25 speed with him, I'm usually falling asleep. The All Souls trilogy I started in 2023, and I only read A Discovery of Witches. This book was super long. I felt like it could have been a little bit shorter, but I do wonder where it's going to go. Also, along the same lines, I started The Witching Hour, and I've only read about 50%. I need to read The Witching Hour. I do have that book on my series tracker because it is part of the series, but I don't know if I'll even read the other 2 books, to be honest. Last year, I started Everlost, the Skinjacker trilogy by Neil Shusterman. I think it's Shusterman. It's either Neil Shusterman or Neil Gaiman. It's one of the Neils. I think it's Neil Shusterman, though. So I read Everlost. It's middle grade. I really like this concept of good versus evil, but they're both morally gray, and they're brother and sister. I really like that. I also read What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher. Really enjoy her writing. She's got a new book coming out for the series later this year, so I want to read the second book, so I'm a little caught up and then read the third one when it comes out. I started the Dream Harbor series, so this is the Pumpkin Spice Cafe and the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore. You guys can catch my vlog on that. But there's 3 other books in this series. 2 that I know have been published. I think there's the 5th one's coming out the end of this year. And then definitely not a priority for me, and I doubt I'll read all of it, but the Disney Twisted Tales series, I read Straight On Till Morning, which is the Peter Pan retelling. I do have A Whole New World, Once Upon a Dream, and As Old as Time, like physical copies of those, so I do want to get to them, but I don't know if I'll read the rest. So this year, I started the Butcher and Blackbird series. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give the second book a shot and see if I want to read the third. But the first book was okay. I really did not like Blackbird's character. I don't, I didn't vibe with her character. But maybe Leather and Lark will be better. Maybe I'll like Lark a little bit better than I liked Blackbird. Let me tell you my caught up series. So this means that I have read everything that's been published, and there might be a new book coming out this year. So far I've been caught up on the Wayward Children series. I already read Adrift in Courageous Clean and Clear this year, so I am caught up for 2025. Truly Devious, I think that there are going to be more books published, but I've read everything else in the series. Lightfall, I definitely know that this graphic novel has to have more in the series. Like, it left off on a cliffhanger. Villains, V.E. Schwab has talked about writing Victorious for several years. She's put it off on the back burner because she's had other projects, which I love her for that. I will read anything this woman writes. So I know that that for sure is going to come to my list, but Vicious and Vengeful have been devoured by me already. Legends and Lattes, there is talk of a third installment. There's nothing planned yet. Finley Donovan, I just requested the library copy of Finley Donovan Digs Her Own Grave, which is the 5th book in the series. I am caught up on the Alex Stern series. There is talk of a third book. Not 100% sure. I think Lee Bardugo's gone back and forth between wanting to publish something and not going to publish something, so we'll see. Killers of a Certain Age. There is a second book coming out this year. It's called Kills Well with Others. And then Dark Lord Davi. I really found this book hilarious last year. It's called How to Become the Dark Lord and Die Trying, and there's going to be a second book in this series. I just recently caught up on the Assistant to the Villain series. I read Apprentice to the Villain within the last few weeks. My priority series that I must make progress or finish this year, the Housemaid series. Listen, I'm not super invested in what happens to this woman. I just think that these thrillers are fun and quick-paced, and I can usually read them in a day or two. That's why I want to read this series. So I need to read The Housemaid is Watching, which I have on Kindle Unlimited, and The Housemaid Wedding, which is technically a companion novel, but I will still probably read it. The Cerulean Chronicles. Okay, this one kind of annoys me because The House in the Cerulean Sea was supposed to be a standalone, but then he came out with Somewhere Beyond the Sea. And I guess I'm going to read it. I really do like TJ Klune's writing. There's something so comforting about it. But yes, it is a series now, so I will be picking up Somewhere Beyond the Sea. We already talked about The Witching Hour. That is priority for me. It is in my goals, my overall reading goals for the year. Other series, the Empyrean series, Onyx Storm just came out. I just need to read that to catch up with my series. And then also this year, I started Powerless, and I've already read Powerless and Powerful. I'm waiting on Reckless to come through in my library, and then Fearless is supposed to be published later this year. I know that sounds like a lot, and it is a lot, but I still feel like after last year, series are a priority for me. I'm proud of myself. I've already finished 3 series, one of which I started this year. So I finished One Dark Window. I've read 2 Twisted Crowns this year. And then I finished the Drowned God series, which is only Curious Tides and Stranger Skies. And then the series that I started and finished this year is the Monk and Robot series by Becky Chambers. I really feel like that there should be more coming in that series, but I guess she's done. She says that she might revisit in the future, but she's not 100% sure yet. In case you were wondering, since I've been using Goodreads, tracking from before 2018 to current, I have started 125 series. That doesn't really seem like a lot. Like, I've seen videos where people have like 75 ongoing series, and that just blows my mind. Like, I am very good at DNFing series. With that being said, I've finished 55 of those series, which is about 44%. I've DNF'd 52 series, so that is 41.5% that I have DNF'd, and I currently have 18 ongoing, which is about 14.4%. So my goal is, I think this should be my overall goal. My goal is, no matter how many series that I start, I want my ongoing to be about, let's say 12%. 12% is great. I think that's good. That's really good. So I still have a little bit more work to do to get there. Currently at 14.4%. If I finish 3 series without starting any new ones, that's going to be 12% right there. I feel like that's doable. So I'm going to check in at the end of the year to this video and see if I read my priority series and if I've made the goal of at 12%. That comes out to about 15 ongoing series with my current numbers of 125 series already started. So yeah, we'll see. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to catch you guys soon in a new video. Tell me if you've read any of these series. What is a priority series for you? And happy reading.